How you doing? Shaduta, come on, go over there. Over there. Come on, bud. Go, go, go. Go on. Whoop. Little Pop-Tart. I think that's where he wanted to go earlier. That's a spot over there. Yeah. Alright. Well, I'm thinking about it. Here, drink this for me. I'm going to do a talk early today. Good boy, Tuck. Good girl. Don't move. It's okay. It's okay. It was just me. She says, the mister wouldn't do that. Benny, why are you doing that? Finally, Benny got up. I don't ever have a place to sit. You know what I've been sitting on? The gardening chair. The gardening chair. The chair I got to do so you can kneel on it in the garden or turn it over and sit on it on a bench. Because all the dogs take all the space seats. I don't get to sit by you because Benny commandeers the spot. And then when Benny's back there by you, Luna's up here in your chair. Oh, Lordy. I'm just going to do a quick talk and then go back and lie back down. Benny! Why are you doing that? Good boy? Man, this energy's potent. How are you feeling, Ma? I've been disorientated all day, huh? It just feels like we're in water. Yeah, another dimension, that's for sure. Anyway. Alright, let's do this. Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Heyoka empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. Boy, it's really freaking getting weird now. Benny! Go sit by Retta. Why are you licking that? Why are you licking so much? Yesterday the energy was so weird, I couldn't even go pick up the dog food from the vet office. I said, you know what? I said, I'm going to come to... And then plus, it wasn't just that, is that the night before I slept real weird, and I tweaked my back. So all yesterday I could hardly move because of my back, and I took a hot shower last night, made it feel I went to bed last night with the heating pad on my neck. I feel better today. It's a better day. So that's a couple interesting happenings today. Life is freaking weird, dude. It's all woo-woo. I went to the post office today and I was talking to the lady that works there. I said, technology is so weird. If you can get your shit out, it's supposed to. If not, it's not what you're supposed to be doing. I said, everything's woo-woo. People go around going, oh, it's not woo-woo. You know, like talking about woo-woo like it's a derogatory term and it means dirty things or some shit. But really? The electricity and the data that goes through computers, it's no different than the electricity and data that goes through us. And Sometimes we get even congruent and all merge and stuff. It's a trip, man. I've been in IT a long time. I've seen a lot of stuff that scientists could never explain because they don't have the capacity, man. A lot of them just don't. Anyway, so, Benny! Go over there. I don't want to freaking look over you. Looking at her ass. The energy is affecting all the animals, too. Yeah, just sit by your grandma, Retta. You'll be alright. Just like all kinds of weird stuff has been happening. I just watched an episode of Reservation Dogs. I hate when they do that. They have their story, their character development, their all that stuff, and then it's like here's an episode that has absolutely nothing to fucking do with any of the other part of the show. Just a random episode in the middle of the last season. 'Cause what? You let your cousin direct that episode? It's just like, okay, we're done, so we'll just throw this shit and that shit. And I hate that stuff, man. Because there's other storylines they could have wrapped up, Anyway, so, I call today's talk Small World because this world is really small. The world is not what they told me it was. It's always been verified that it is something entirely different than people have told me that it was. In every instance where somebody said that this is the way the world is, they were misinformed. Because I have always had a different experience. Now, I don't believe that they say that there's 7 billion people on the planet, something like that. I don't think that's the case. I think that there were more people on the planet in the early 1900s and they just have been wiping people out ever since. There's not. I never thought that there was as many people on the planet as they say. They aren't a credible source as far as I'm concerned. They never have been. The people that collect the data, that do the studies, the people that designate how things are, they couldn't change a fucking tire. So I don't take and value opinions and policies and procedures and laws and rules and regulations by people that have lived in a imposed reality their whole entire life. Because real life is ugly and it's scary and it's gross and it's not all kind and loving and love and light. It's not, because there's a lot of people that have had a lot of terrible things happen to them because of that's how the world really is. And a lot of people have profited and benefit from these systems of grossities. I'm glad I didn't get caught up in the system of grossity, all that stuff of just disrespecting your soul sack. We're connection to source, God, creator. So when people freaking desecrate their soul sacks by just putting toxins in it, just treating it bad, sleeping around, because you don't just sleep with the person that you sleep with. Your energy field messes with everybody they fuck with too, and their energy fields, they're merging with all the partners that you've had. It's a lot of So I got to tell a couple stories today demonstrating how small the world is, and I wonder how many other people have stories like this, and I have one more to add to it. Just the whole story about how me and mom got to Taos, New Mexico. It's a fucking miracle, dude. I'm going to tell that story too. First, I'm going to tell the one about Kirsten Jesperson. Her name, she doesn't have the same last name anymore. And that wasn't her original name. That was another married name, I believe. So, she was a SP off at Air Force Base when I was there, but I didn't know her from there. I met her we had some mutual friends, Bill W., and that was the time I got sober. And we got to talk, and we became buddies and stuff, and hanging out, And we got to talking, and one day she mentioned Paso Robles. I said, how do you know Paso Robles? Because only people that have like driven through it on the 101, or that have been around there in their life. Only people have been there. It's not a common place. It's just north of Atascadero, which means little mud hole in Spanish. My brother and my dad were born in the same 19-room hospital in that town of Atascadero. That's how I know. So she and I started talking, and she said, well, my family's from there. My family's from Atascadero. I said, my grandma's been there since, forever. She's been a real estate agent there. And we got to talking, and I had a conversation with my dad, and she went back and talked to her aunt. And her aunt, I think her aunt passed away since. So her aunt and my dad were in every grade school class together from kindergarten till 6th grade. And then I met her in Omaha, Nebraska. Actually, not Omaha, south of Omaha, in a place called Bellevue. That's what Offutt Air Force Base is. So, and then there's another instance when I was hanging out with those friends of Billy. I was like 4 months sober. A buddy of mine, his mom died, and what they taught, what they teach you is when something happens to somebody, you suit up and you show up and you just be there and you support them. And I did that for a number of years. For a lot of people, I don't want to get off subject, so I'm not gonna. So this is one of the first. Okay, so his mom died. So my friend Karen was dating the guy at the time. So I said, okay, well, I'd like to go with you to the funeral. And so I went to the funeral, and I pull up, and I see a guy, he looked like, I said, look, it's Santa Claus. He had a big old beard and stuff. And I look at his truck, and I see his license plate. It was a California plate. It said Tumbleweed, shortened up. It was like TMBL WED or something, like tumble, and something like that. I was like, oh my God. And I get out, and the guy walks up, and he like reaches his hand out to introduce himself. I said, Jerry? He said, yeah. I said, I'm Marge. I was friends with Eric. And Eric Schreiber was a dude that I met him when I was like 15. And then we hung out, and I knew, last time I saw him, I don't know, last time I talked to him was probably 2000. So our lives went the opposite way, but so many of my, good times in teenage years were with Eric Schreiber, and Jerry was his mom's. It was his stepdad, so it was the father of his little sister Tara, and Jerry's brothers with Terry, the guy I was there supporting. Now, Jerry had a biker bar called the Tumbleweed Inn on Folsom Boulevard in Sacramento, California. And I went there one time with a friend of mine. We were out drinking. This is back in my heavy drinking days, and we went there. And they actually kicked me out because they didn't like my kind. People, when they're in positions of power, and if they don't like you, they'll just have you removed. I've been the thing that people haven't liked my whole life. I have been removed from some crazy ass places. I also been put in some places by divine order, so I'm just here trying to freaking do what God wants me to do, right? So the story about how I got to Taos, New Mexico. It was 2020, August. I got notification from the landlady where I lived that we had to move by October 1st. It was less than 3 months, see, because she wanted to move in with her boyfriend, and she didn't want the shame of having to move in her own 25, 26-year-old adult son that's never had a job because she supported him his whole life and enabled him to the point that he's up until I last heard, he's not conducive to society because he don't do nothing to contribute to anything. So we had to move so baby boy can move into the house where we live so mama could go live with her boyfriend. Anyway, so I was like, shoot, I had already started saving because I knew the astrology was saying, okay, we gotta go. I just didn't know where. I was trying to get back to California, to Redding or Sacramento or any place like that just to get close to my brother and his family. And I asked my brother if he would help me, please help me find a place for me and mom. And he said that she is your problem. You wanted to take care of her. Do it yourself. And so there was a lot of fires that people were setting on purpose back then. Paradise, that's back when the Paradise Fire, I believe, happened. And a lot of people died. Like, now they're experiencing in Maui. Everybody gets their taste their chance to evacuate. If you don't in this life, you will in the next life. So, and if you haven't, it'll happen in a past life. If it just happens to every spirit that incarnates. We're just living life libraries. So I started putting the word out there. I was desperate. I was calling homeless. I was calling all these places. Nobody would help me. I was reaching out. I was trying to use social media, put the word out, put every person I ever met, please help, and people just watched. It was crickets. Nobody did jack shit. I'd try and find places and I'd like, hey man, nobody would go fucking look at places to even see if they were real. Just nobody can live past their own selves because everybody's so busy living their best fucking life that don't do no favor for nobody else, right? So, I'd gotten from Key Jin, some woman saw me and mom's plea. There's two things that happened at this time. That this woman saw me and mom's plea, and she invited us to Flagstaff, Arizona, and at the same time, this other woman in Marge Astrology's chats said that she knew of a place of a woman that had a trailer in Taos, New Mexico. Now I'm in Salem, Oregon. I'm like, I can't do Taos, that's like so far away. With me, mom, and 5 dogs and the cat, And then so we ended up going to Flagstaff, and as soon as we got there, we both realized, the woman that invited me and me, that this wasn't gonna go. And the woman turned out to be very wicked and very sadistic, and her German Shepherd dog even freaking mauled me in my leg. I got scars on it from her dog freaking grabbing me a couple times and shaking me about. That sucked. And then she yelled at me for her stupid dog fucking biting me. So then YouTube videos again. Marge Astrology putting out, I put it everywhere. I'm like, dude, I need a place. I put all the chats because I was begging. I was just opening us up to divine intervention. Wherever you're going to put us, God, please take us, deliver us there. My truck died. I was like, dude, this is scary. I feel like I'm back in a corner and I got no place to go. I called the VA homeless hotline. They're fucking worthless. The whole VA system is fucking worthless. You got so many offices of people that get paid, but they don't fucking do jack shit. And they're all so discombobulated and nobody communicates and is compelled to do anything with any kind of urgency. And it's just a big old cluster of wasted resources and misappropriation of funds. So through the Marge Astrology, here we are again, the same lady was in there. Well, that place in Taos, New Mexico is still open. And then she's so I said, I'm gonna put up it was like one of us put our email in the chat. I can't remember how it was. was 3 years ago, nearabouts. And then like I think she put it in, I got it, and then said, okay, delete it. And so she did that, which doesn't make any sense because you could just see it in the replay. But so we got in communique, and she got me in touch with the woman in Taos, and that's how we got the trailer from where all the cats were. Right? That was a trip. Right? And that's how we ended up in Taos, New Mexico through YouTube chats. Because nobody I fucking ever knew, I said, I gotta work harder in life to be a better person. Because it seems like people, I see the people that I've seen bend over backwards to help, right? The recipients of all this fucking goodness and good cheer and coddling and protection and support and all this stuff, these people, what the fuck? What did they ever do to deserve it? Shit. So, anyway, fast forward, August 23rd, Artie Pants is going to be 13 tomorrow. Artie Pants is going to be 13. He's still hanging in there. He's got bad liver, so we just love him while we got him, huh? I got to go in and get him a treat of some sort for him to eat for his birthday. So today I go to the park. Hadn't been there in a while. It doesn't really feel good. The energies are so weird. I was looking for a buddy of mine. I had a couple things for him, and I didn't even end up seeing him. But I was talking to my earth angel when I got there, and I parked next to this lady, and she was like she was watching me. And she kind of overheard what I was saying and stuff, and I saw her go, huh? She's like, and when I got off the phone, she laughed and kind of like acknowledged me, and she said, hi. She's like, hey, I like your style. And I said, huh? And she was in her van, she starts to get out, and she said, I like your style. She was like, I was watching you. And she said, and I said, well, my name's Marge. Or I said, I'm a Heyoka. And she said, I am too. I said, my name's Marge. And she said, my name's Cynthia. And I looked at her. I said, Cynthia? I said, it's Marge. When her face went, she was like, I have been wanting to meet you. Cynthia was the woman who's in the chat that put me in contact with the landlady out in town. Cynthia is why Marge and Mom are here. And when we first got in communication with her, she lived in Cuesta. And that's where Mom was probably born. Someplace in this area. I'm getting hot just thinking about it. I don't got a tank top on, so I'm not going to take off my shirt. But I'm just like, she's like, I've been wanting to meet you for so long. And she even left the area and came back. Because last time we messaged her, I've seen her here and there on social, like, because like, she had a van. She wanted to live out of the van. She was in a bad situation where she was. And then she got a van, and then like her ex totaled the van, and then it just was like, the bullshit that comes with life. And so she was in a van, and she had her 2 dogs, and she's working. There's a group that goes on Wednesdays that feed this people in the local community every Wednesday, and she's been going out to their farm and working with them. I wonder if I could bring them my tomato plants, because they need to go in a hot house because it's going to start getting wintry soon, and the plants were ginormous, but I don't have them in like where like they're just now starting to bloom, and so they need to go to a better home. Um, and so she's been working with them. And it's funny, I went over and talked to Religion, Reg. He's like I don't know, he's been a Taos fixture for 20 years. And he's Terrence McKenna's nephew. And I was like, dude, I'm tripping out right now. I said, that's the woman. She's why we're here. He said, I've seen her. He's like, she has been coming around for a while now, and it's like, I'll see you. You'll come in, and she'll leave, and then you'll like you guys have just because he's always at the park. I don't go to the park a lot. I guess she's been going there. So I introduced her to Reg today, and he said it's the trippiest thing. He said, I've seen you, I've seen her, and you guys just have keep missing each other for like quite some time now. I said, well, I'll be damned. Well, today's the day, you know. People are attracted to people. You are drawn to people magnetically by your vibrational frequency, whatever that is. Everybody gets to determine that for themselves. Small world. I remember I was in pre-K in Morro Bay Elementary when they had us doing It's a Small World After All in sign language. Yeah. That whole program, the whole MK Ultras, all that stuff is just so weird how it's all just coming out. Things are getting trippy, man. I feel so weird because more people are starting. The veil is falling. The veil, people are waking up at such a quick rate, it's making my head spin. Benny, go lay down. Go lay down next to Grandma Retta. Go on. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Good boy. Yeah, so stuff's getting pretty trippy. Hey, we're coming into fall. It's already been fall where I'm at. It's been fall here for a good 2-3 weeks now. That freaking nippy in the morning. I get up about 5, anywhere between 5:30. I got to sleep in a little bit this morning, I think. Yeah, because when I woke up, it was 6 and the sun was starting to come up. Usually, I'm trying to see Venus, but we're haven't met up yet. She's still too below the mountain line in the sky. So, I wake up, I gotta let Artie out immediately. It's like get up. It's like as soon as I wake up, put my spirit in my soul sack and come to my senses. I gotta let Artie out. Huh, buddy? Such a go. And then Luna too. And the other ones are lazy for a while. Then I gotta get up. Mom, get up. Huh? Let Mom go to the bathroom. And then she goes back to sleep for a while. So, things are shifting. Things are getting weird in other parts. Where I live, man, it ain't nothing. It ain't nothing where I live. This place is a trip, man. This place is its own timeline. You know, you got big cities you got all these people that are having a kind of a shared experience. And now that shared experience is being infiltrated by just a whole lot of freaking low vibrational shit. How are people going to choose to come out of it? How, are they just going to ignore it and hope it goes away? That's what they're doing in Albuquerque, Santa Fe. And, you know, with all the fires and stuff going on, because it's all over the world, man. It's everywhere. It's either, they're in most of the world, it's either fire or floods, according to my app. My disaster alert app. It's floods or fire, and so thunderstorms, wildfire, Louisiana, Maryville, wildfire, blah, blah, Northwest Territory, Alberta, Canada, British Columbia. There's one at Lookout Fire, Oregon, United States. That was reported 7 hours ago and updated 21 minutes ago. All over the place. Elliott Fire, California. Wildfire, Alberta, it's everywhere. The world is changing. The earth is changing so fast. Yeah, you still have the people that are still like, I don't know, going on like nothing's happened. So the one thing that's happening, this is Batman that drew this to my attention. I was like, holy shit, you're absolutely right. He drew it to my attention a few days ago that with all the, ever since Maui, I guess, Luhana, however you pronounce it. Ever since that, there hasn't been any mass shootings. Like, there is all these mass shootings. Like, every day it's like, oh my God, where's it going to happen today? All these places, so many people getting shot and killed. And then it's just like, that storyline ceased, and now we're shifting and evolving to the climate change, stuff. It's just like, hey, why don't communities, dude, places are going to get wiped out all over the world. It's a natural course, man. It's just how it is. So why don't people get like places, like have emergency plans in place? Like, who in your community knows how to do these resources? So if shit one thing that people got to have in a community is water. You got to have a clean water source. So who's going to be on water? Who's going to be making sure that there's clean water for the community? If because we're freaking in the middle of nowhere. We don't even got trains where we just got these little freaking podunk interstates, and the bridge over the gorge, that's just a freaking earth shake from being a tin can at the bottom of a freaking hole, man. That thing, the earth shakes, that thing will just be like, that's a major freaking, that's a whole lot of people cut off. It's a whole lot of people cut off. And the local government here, I mean, they already freaking, shut down any kind of progress like that'll help people, like the switchback. They don't want to do nothing with the switchback. They'll spend millions of dollars out in the middle of nowhere for what's that place called? What's that poison that starts with an A? Arsenic. It's a hike. It's arsenic hike. They have an arsenic hike up there. They just spent millions of dollars on this putting in brand new blacktop in this little freaking loop for this camping area, outdoors area that is so far fucking removed from any place. It's just like, it's like their nephew got out of college and said, okay, boy, we're gonna have you come work in the office. We're gonna give you this CAD program, and we're gonna give you this big old huge budget. Here, we'll put your first project out here in the middle of nowhere in case you really fuck it up, kid. I mean, it's just like, where do they come up with this stuff? It's just bizarre. It's bizarre. I want to know how weird it is where other people live. Because it's fucking weird in Taos, New Mexico. And then you have all these people that come here. They come here from Texas and Colorado and Arizona and California just to watch the broke down fucking psyches of what happens when you trade casino sovereignty for casinos. They come here, they go say, oh, let's go watch how the Native Americans live, But you got all these Native Americans that just stop fucking doing anything because they're so bound by their freaking ancestral freaking carnage, Like, and there's dark secrets everywhere. Like, mom could have been an incest baby, It's just how it is. She very well could have been. Because in Cuesta, that's how they do it. You got all these small communities, and you don't got people teaching their kids, hey, don't fuck your cousin. Don't hump your brother. They don't do that. It's just everybody, duh. So you got all these weird storylines and all these, and it's like, I don't got no shame. If mom is an incest baby, mom don't got no shame. We don't know, it's like, we're the byproduct of that. We're trying to freaking, not do the same behaviors, I'm proud to say I ain't never done my cousin. So we'll just call that family line healed. Yeah. Hey, man. I mean, there's still, how much weird stuff happens? Because I'm gonna give people a storyline right now, and I bet people they're gonna pay closer attention at like big family events. Pay close attention at family reunions, like the drinker, the uncle, the dad, the aunt, the one that drinks. So and they start like the men mostly. I'm sure it happens in women. I've mostly seen it happen in men. Is that dudes like get freaking so wasted they black out, and then they like they confuse their daughter with their wife. It's weird. And very awkward and very uncomfortable. See, that's the thing. If people do take intoxicants, if you take in things, and then you have these behaviors that are just weird, they're just not normal, you don't hit on your daughter. You know what I think of? I think of the whole storyline with John Travolta and the Scientology, and like how his kid, autistic kid, died because he bumped his head while they were on vacation. And then it's just bizarre to me. Because the way my mind sees things, I hope I'm wrong. Well, yeah, I'm probably wrong. We'll just say that. So then his son died. And then his wife died. And then you see how, like before his wife he had another son. He had another son who's like younger, so he's like 10 or so at the time. And then they showed a picture of him in his bed with his daughter, who's a grown-up now, who looks a lot like his late wife, but she died. And then they have his other son, who's very young, and they're all in the family portrait on the bed. It's creepy, dude. Ew. So, I never really was a big old fan. I've seen all those movies that he was in. But he's just another person that I'm like, why do people like him so much? Like Tom Hanks, like all these actors and stars and musicians. I mean, even the musicians I like, I like, you see people that like are in tears because they're so devoted to these false for profits and such. And they spend all their energy and, spend all their money on stuff to praise the false for profits, the false idols, and then now, I mean, when I saw Taylor Swift and I saw her I was in the front row in the general, I had good ticket. I was front row. I saw her right up front when I was in Omaha for the 1989 concert. I think I paid less than $300. So, like, whenever that was, 2013, whenever it was. But the thing of it is like, things are out of control. Like, what people, the imbalance is, the output isn't worth the input. Like, what people offer isn't worth what they want. It's a huge imbalance. So there's gonna be a lot of people with fucking whiplash, man, because they're just gonna be so floored, because they're not even gonna believe the world, especially by the end of the year. And like the whole entire world is just gonna be just very unrecognizable. It's just gonna keep changing into, and now they're gonna start doing that freaking You know, mask up bullshit. They're gonna start the fear that they're gonna cue this, cue that. You know, instill fear here. Oh, instill fear there. What was it? Here's Liz Schlesinger. Is that what her name was? I saw her in Kansas City. Their little dog. Schlesinger. There's a Friday 13th coming up. I miss the Cardinals. There aren't Cardinals in this town. Here's some of the pictures I got at Taylor Swift. Boop. That's not Taylor Swift. That's Pete Mannion. He died a couple years back. Let's see. This was her light up dress. That was cool. That was a good picture of her. I never put these up on social media and stuff. This one was like, I was right there. That's the sound guy. That was the sound guy right there. You know, with the ritual and the umbrellas. I was a part of one. You know what I do with my heart? She's a Life Path 7. Of course I'm going to end up at one of her shows. I'm a Life Path 7 also. That was another good shot I got of her. This was her, that's how close I was. That was her microphone right there. Right in the middle. It says 1989. She's had that microphone for ever. It's okay, baby. It's okay. That was just the, oh, there's a zoom shot out of it. Yeah. I've been recording the 1989 tour. That was the same place I saw Mumford & Sons, Dolly Parton. That was the crowd. It was a good crowd. That was at CenturyLink. I don't know if it was sold out. That was my outfit. My orange pants. I was so overweight. I had so many emotions that I was hanging on to. I had so much stuff. I let it all go. I let it all go. I talk about anything and everything. And if other people are embarrassed by stories that I tell, well, I guess that's something that they need to sort out of and by themselves. Doesn't really have anything to do with me. Your parents are first cousins, and me and my sister turned out all good. See, that's why I wonder if that's why Mom had club feet. But I'm gonna go to what I'm gonna do next is when I feel compelled. Is there's a couple of churches, and I just found out today the woman Cynthia that I ran into told me that the Harwood Museum, a lot of these places around here keep record. See, because that's what sets Mom apart from just any other freaking throwaway in New Mexico, is the fact that she was born with 2 club feet. The thing of it is if she was born to some sort of incestual, that's not what people want to talk about. And so the thing of it is, though, when I got up today and I hear Robert say, okay, this is like, these are I got to figure out what it is for me that when the planets line up like this in the sky, that I get knowings, I get answers to questions that I've had, or I meet Cynthia's, or somehow the universe reveals shit to me in a big way. One time it happened, that's when I found out my parents were not married. I was always told they got divorced after I was born. That was a lie. I don't even know the story of my birth. I'm one of those people. A lot of people don't know how they were born. And so many people don't want to talk about it. It's like shroud with shame, and all this stuff. There's all these babies that were born, under circumstances that aren't freaking, aren't of love. How many people on the planet were not conceived from a place of love? What, you don't think that does something to the little merge cells? Right? And then you have all the other weirdos that are roaming the planet that like to frickin' perpetuate their frickin' twisted, gross storylines. I'm not a product of that because it didn't win. You know? A lot of freaking kids that are freaking molested. I was raped as a baby. A lot of kids that this shit happens to. It turns you on it makes you grow up. It turns your body on. It activates your body. You know. I remember watching soap operas when I was 4 or 5 years old, and then going down and seeing my dad. My dad had 3 daughters, and the youngest daughter, my stepsister, was about my age, and we'd make out all the time. We were always pretending, oh, let's pretend like we're on the soap opera, right? I wonder what happened to her, you know? Because other little girls are playing with dolls and stuff, and we're just like, hey, let's go make out. You know, but I didn't perpetuate that storyline. I didn't keep succumbing to my urges and my will. I recognized that for what it was as my interpretation and my understanding. And what I did is I used my energy for my desires and my fucking all the time, dude. I couldn't ride a bike for a long time because I would get aroused and shit, and then I'd get fucking pissed because I didn't understand why I couldn't just or gym equipment or I just was like, I thought I was a fucking freak of nature, but it's not, I wasn't. I just was sexualized at an early age, and how many other people has that happened to? But it's worked out for them because they're making bank on OnlyFans and all that shit, man. That's so fucking dirty and gross. You know, I mean, I haven't been in a relationship in a long fucking time. You know, and I even considered doing porn because I had to pay the bills at one time. I lived in Oregon. You know, I wanted to make fast money. So, okay, that's how you can do it. All right, so, and the thing of it is that lasted about a day and a half. I was also drinking at the time. And I had another moment of clarity, too, because even if I don't ever get in another relationship as long as I live in this life, I could die and then be reincarnated and, meet the love of my life in a next life. Maybe I don't have a love of my life in this one. You know, it doesn't matter if I have a love of my life in this one. I don't ever want to meet the love of my lives and have to explain what a freaking dirtbag scumbag I was because I couldn't control my own urges. People that can't control their urges? Are you fucking kidding me? If I can, you can. I'm so tired of fucking sexual deviants and the pervs on this planet, man. I'm so tired. And people glorify them all the time. It's coming. I'm going to do the talk. Bobby C., the jerk-off AA speaker, it's coming. You know, all these people are freaking, and then they want you to feel sorry for them, and no, they didn't do it, and they didn't, they were so, no. If you acted like that, then you're probably, and I didn't think, maybe that's how you used to act, but then you're acting like that then. How you acting now, it's just, no, they just cover their tracks better. That's all. They don't change their behavior. They don't. Not unless that has been curbed a long time ago, but statistically, chances are it's not in their favor. They just change their playmates and go underground deeper to do their dirty deeds. I've seen evidence my whole entire life. Marge, you're so doom and gloom. You focus on all. No, dude, my whole life. I got Scorpio moon too, man. My placements, I live to reveal the freaking grossness of what people are. And hey, don't be mad at me if you find out that your mom, your dad, your uncle, your cousin, your brother, your sister, that they've been freaking living these double lives and do a whole lot of ooh shit. And you had no idea. All this stuff, man. People have not been living in an integral way for a long time. And people are going to start seeing all the skeletons and the dirtiness and the grossness and the things that they've had to do to perpetuate their lifestyle. Yeah. Well, anyway, I think I've been running, 50 minutes? Man, time has been flying so fast, man. Time has been going by so fast. Come on. I've been having like ascension freaking symptoms too. Like in the middle of the night, I woke up, I was like, dude, am I going to throw up? Well, the energy's so potent, I'm so sensitive. So I'm just going to hang out with Mom. We're going to watch some... what are we going to watch next? The next episode of Breeders? We're going to watch the next episode of Breeders. There's a new episode of Breeders out. That dude that was on Sherlock and The Hobbit and stuff. So, God bless you. You hungry yet? Want some tuna casserole? Or a peanut butter jelly sandwich? A small peanut butter jelly? Just a half of one?